In fact, that was the hardest part of the entire military service, is being away from it.
Being away from the fans and
just being away from show business altogether. That was the hardest part of all. It wasn't the Army, it wasn't the other men, it was that. It stayed on my mind. I kept thinking about the past all the time, contemplating the future, and
Elvis,
that was the hardest part.
We know your family status has changed since you went into service. Are you going to keep Graceland? Do you have plans of moving away from Memphis, or what?
No, sir, I have no plans for leaving Memphis.
And you're going to keep Graceland?
I'm going to keep Graceland as long as I possibly can.
Well, was this Christmas tree a surprise?
Well, since it's March, it's a little surprise. That's the tree we used in 1957.
We can leave the Christmas tree long enough. About your tonsils and the tonsillectomy that you were contemplating while you were in the service, did you deliberately ask that it be held off until you could get to the United States and the local doctor?
No, sir.
Or did they improve that much?
I didn't ask that. They don't like to perform surgery of any kind in Europe. They don't like to. If it's an emergency, they will. But I took penicillin and wonder drugs or whatever they call it.
You had no recurrence, huh?
I had 2 attacks of tonsillitis when I was there.
Elvis, did you like the food over there outside of the Army? When you would go out, did you like that type of food?
I never went out. So
You never ate out in a restaurant?
I never ate in a restaurant the entire time I was in Germany. It's funny. I either ate in the mess hall or at home. One of the two. I never, in fact, I never went anywhere while I was in Europe except to Paris. I went to Paris and on a leave, and that was all.
Now, how did the fans respond to you over there as compared to here in the States?
Well, it's a pretty difficult question to answer because anything I'll say, it might sound a little like I'm bragging, but it was pretty much the same there as here.
They had seen a lot of your movies.
And the records and so forth. I'd like to go back on a tour over there someday, all of Europe, because the only thing they know about me is what they've read, records and the movies and so forth.
Elvis, this is not in the form of a question, but I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you home for everybody in Memphis and the South.
Well, thank you. You'll never know how happy I am to be here. Someone asked me this morning, what did I miss about Memphis? And I said, everything.
I asked that question on the train this morning, and we used it several times. And you said, anything you mentioned about Memphis that I missed that much.
Well, sir, I've been here for quite a while, about 14 or 15 years now. I pretty well know Memphis. I thought I did till I drove home.
John, if we get any more now, I'll have to start charging you.
Elvis, how did it feel to come all the way into the station on the train for the first time?
Huh?
How did it feel to come all the way to your destination on the train? You normally get over.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. I know what you're talking about now. Escape and evasion, they call it in the Army. But I don't know. I mean, I was hoping there'd be some, people there at the station, and I knew there'd be a lot of my friends there, my, personal friends, and I wanted to come into the station. I wouldn't have gotten off anywhere else, I mean, this time is different.
If we'd only known that yesterday.
How long do you think you'll be back in Memphis, recuperating or getting adjusted back to civilian life?
I would say a couple of weeks. That's about all.
Thank you. Okay, is that all?